can you see this person's perspective,
Right.
but can you see beyond this barrier that is in front of you right now? And we do get to that place of gratitude and actually appreciation. Now, it takes us refusing to stay in a victim mindset in order to do that.
We not victims.
No, we're not. How are you, Devon O'Day?
I am my friend, my sunflower friend. We need our sunflower friends on rainy days like today. I I know, and thank you to Brittany Easterling and Ray Stevenson from Backstage Nashville. They brought me some beautiful. They picked me some beautiful sunflowers and gave them to me. So I was so excited to get them. I said they're going to decorate my set.
They are, and you're so deserving of them. So there's that.
My favorite flower. My favorite
Mhm.
flower. I am so glad to see you on this
I'm,
rainy day.
I'm glad to see you. I thought I was going to be a few minutes late because this monsoon weather we're having here in Middle Tennessee has been cuckoo, cuckoo.
I know.
But here
And
I am.
everybody's going, but we need the rain. We need the rain. We do need the rain, but
Yeah, I'm not saying we don't need the rain. I'm just saying it's cuckoo, cuckoo.
it is. Well, it made me start thinking. It's something that I call rainy day thinking.
Okay.
Rainy day thinking, and rainy day thinking is cray cray. You know, we see the weather gets bad, and it puts us in a bad mood. It's just so blue. And I wondered if anybody else has, when the days are blue, do you become blue too? And sometimes and whether it's seasonal effectiveness disorder or whether it's just the fact that it's raining, I'm not as happy if it's a sunny as when it's a sunny day. Do you ever deal with that, and how to help people and help us all kind of take our days and kind of flip that upside down and go, but it's wonderful. What are some things that we can do to find sunshine within?
Well, I tell people just, I guess it's called radical acceptance. It's about creating, it is what it is. So
Mhm.
if it's raining, it's raining. Now, if it's raining and you're choosing to have a bad day because now it's raining and now you're going to be late for work or this and that and another, that really has nothing to do with a rainy day. That has everything to do with your mindset.
Mhm.
You know, now that's a little different from people. Sorry, Otis has decided he would like to be a part of the broadcast today too. So he's with us right now. How about
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, one of the things that I think of, and usually there are these great videos, and you've been sending me some awesome ones on TikTok that just make me laugh and make me smile. But there are the kids that put on their galoshes and they
you?
run out and jump in puddles and they rain. It's like, yay, it's raining. And
Hmm.
somewhere between that age when we sleep in our rain boots because they're so cool, and when we go, oh my gosh, it's raining and I feel awful. I just hate days like this. There's something in between there where we change.
It's usually called adulthood. Like, I mean, we have this innocence about being a child and wanting to play in the rain or wanting to whatever it is that we're doing, and then that shifts when now we're not just playing in it, now we're driving in it, and we got to walk from the car to the office in it, and we've got to get groceries in it, and it just changes. I don't have a preference between rainy or sunny days. I like them both because
Mhm.
sunny days I'm outside, I'm enjoying it. Rainy days, sometimes I'm outside, sometimes I'm napping. Just or you know, gonna make some hot cocoa or I mean I'll make hot cocoa when it's 95 degrees outside because there's something about it being cold and or drizzly outside
Mhm.
and just making a warm and comfortable environment for yourself inside.
You know what I did today? Because it was raining and I was coming in to the office and I knew that my hair was going to be like swamp hair because I mean, it hits this humidity and it just goes. And the last few days, I've just kind of like let it go. And I go, I'm just embarrassed that my hair is as curly and weird as what it is. So, and then I came in today and it looked like a wet t-shirt contest. I mean, it was just like I was covered. I brought this with me to work and I sat right here at my set and dried myself off.
There you go.
And It was no big, and it's nice and cool out, comparatively speaking. And I go, I got this handled. So sometimes it's just a check. Well, what do I need? Do I need to take an umbrella? Maybe I need cooler rain boots?
Right. Right.
Change your rain boots. And this is also a metaphor, you guys. There's Corinne,
Hey,
and there's
Corinne.
our Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
It is gorgeous here in Buffalo. Your rain's supposed to come up tomorrow night. Well, it's okay. It's okay. And there's Candy. Hadn't seen her in a
Hey,
while.
Candy. Hey,
Uh,
Candy.
Elizabeth says, rainy days make me want to clean house and get organized.
Yeah.
Those are the days. Those are the days. Angie is joining us. Hi, Angie.
I need you.
Now, what Corinne says we used to float sticks down the curb when the streets flooded as kids. If I tried that now, I would go plop into the water.
Yeah, I think it's all just about, because
Mhm.
let's look at it from a different view. If it weren't raining, like it's raining here in Middle Tennessee today, if it weren't raining here now and we had the weather that we had last week, the majority of people that we cross paths with would be going, oh my God, it's so hot and so humid. My flowers are dying. My grass is dying. We need some rain. Now today we have rain. Oh my gosh, I can't go outside. It's raining. My shoes are going to get wet. It's like, are we, the real question here is, as adults, are we ever satisfied or happy with the current situation that's unfolding in front of us as it is? Whether it's our mind, our body, our finances, our job, are we ever truly content? And not content in the way of, I just have to capitulate to being content and just wah. But like, are you ever really content in your, you know?
That's a strange feeling, because I remember having a cup of coffee one morning and I had this feeling that came over me. I took a sip and the coffee was perfect. And it was just this moment. And I realized I was experiencing contentment, and how few times in my life I had let myself experience contentment. I don't know, anybody, you guys can weigh in. Connie Maynard is weighing in. Connie has a brand new, we're going to have her on this show too. SweetSassyPinUpGals.com is her calendar she did. She lost her younger son. He was in his 30s and she lost him to brain cancer. And she flipped that. And instead of spending her life mired in the grief, she let it propel her into doing a calendar that keeps his name alive, but also goes toward research, and she raises money for research. And I think that's so beautiful. You'll see that in the comments, you guys. Johnny Vinoker said, there's always sunshine, always sing, dance, find a friend that's positive and uplifting. Johnny V, that would be you. That would be you. He is always singing in the rain. Candy says that it's a gorgeous sunshine here in the UK.
Nice.
And Angie says, don't know if I will keep y'all. Got a storm here and under a tornado watch.
Well, you take care of you, Angie. You can always find us on the replay. We want to make sure you're safe. So
yeah, be safe. And a little rain is very, very different from being under a tornado watch or a lightning storm. I take lightning very serious when there are metal gates and things to open and animals and stuff. Sometimes you just have to go, we're all on our own tonight. We got to stay safe.
Right, right. And to your point, a little, a little rain is different from when it's lightning. And also sometimes, for people who have more of a chemical imbalance, and we all know Teri does not diagnose or prescribe, but for people that have a chemical imbalance, sometimes they're teeter-tottering just on the edge of just not needing, but their brain needing something to flip them over into the dark side.
Right.
And a rainy day can do that. You can wake up, and if you just look at your curtains and your bedroom is not as bright as it is on a sunny day, just in that instant, the brain can go, well, there it is. And that can cause, and that's not a willpower thing. That is a chemical imbalance. So that is not something that we can just snap our fingers.
So be aware. So be aware of that, that difference, and know that there's some things that sometimes need to be done. Elizabeth says, absolutely. We have to be satisfied with the way things are. We don't always need something different. Love that.
Right. And if you are prone to finding yourself in more of an unseasonably low or depressed state on days like
Mhm.
this, you know, there are, I think we've talked about this before on our show. There are light boxes that you can purchase that emit this sun rays. And so you put them in your rooms, and it just gives you that sensation, and it can literally change the way that your chemistry in your brain is firing.
Full spectrum light bulbs. I invested in them years ago, and I changed out, and I have some here in my studio. Just telling you,
There
just
you
being
go.
full confession. I have them here in the studio, and I think they're really important. Um, Angie says, "Me too, girl. I don't mind storms, but put in a tornado watch warning. I'm on high alert.
Hmm.
Be on the safe side as much as you can." And we're about to switch from the actual weather talk to the next part is the metaphor of life, the blue days, and how to combat those. Joyce, good to have you.
Hey,
Always,
Joyce.
always. Joyce says, rainy and cloudy days bring me down sometimes, just like winter days. Seasonal depression, I think, not really bad because I talk myself out of it usually.
Get you
Well,
some get you some little light boxes.
mhm. Okay, let's talk about nutrition and bad moods. Nutrition and bad moods. There is there are things that we intake that are depressive to us later that we can really kickstart ourselves. Like sugar can really give you a nice high for about 30 minutes.
Hmm.
And then after that, not so much.
Right. Right. Alcohol. Well, alcohol is sugar, so alcohol's the same way. There are some foods that are, they give you the boost, and then
Hmm.
they can flatline you emotionally. So you become more depressed in more of a depressive state. Plus, you have to know your own body chemistry and makeup. Some
Hmm.
people can do things in moderation. Certain foods, and they feel great. Some people, you go to your doctor, be checked out, maybe you have a vitamin D deficiency, and that's something that supplements can, help you with. So
Hmm. There's a supplement called St. John's wort, which is wort, WORT. It's that means plant, and so that is a natural mood lifter. But you have to be careful because it interacts with a lot of medicine. So you have to make sure if you are taking a medicine, don't just go, well, Gary and Devon said we should go get this. Well, no, that's not what we're
no.
saying. Go check and you have to talk to a pharmacist or a doc, but pharmacists are really good about knowing what supplements are good for this and what supplements will interact
Right. Right.
even more so than a doctor. I'm going to tell you, doctors don't always know the interactions, but a pharmacist, I have found them to be extremely helpful. And if you're having an issue with this, the pharmacist might be able to suggest something that they can give to you that doesn't require a prescription that might help you and lift you out of those things. I know that there are a couple of little things that I want to put in your a couple of arrows for your quiver. If you have some issues with depression, two of the coolest snacks are bananas and walnuts. Bananas and walnuts are mood lifters and natural depression lifters. And I don't know why the two of those together, but sometimes if it's a blue day for me, or if I can feel the black dog chasing me, I make a banana and walnut oatmeal and put a little honey in there and a little butter and a little cream. And it's just like, okay, I'm Irish, so it's going to have cream in it, but it's good. But I can find myself, that Sylvia Gagnier from Green Door Gourmet said, if you look at the walnut, it's shaped like a brain.
Hmm.
And that's where it helps you. It
Hmm.
helps your head. And I so from then on, I keep walnuts all the time for that very, very thing. It's a really good snack, nice protein, but it lifts you up. Um, for me, buying a new pair of rain boots really helped me. I love these rain boots, so I don't worry about I can't stand that wet feeling, that gross
Hmm.
feeling that you get your feet wet. You just kind of walk around in it. All the things that we complain about. I have a thing about umbrellas. I don't like umbrellas.
Yeah.
I get them hung and everything, and I try to get in the car, and I get more wet trying to get the thing down and try. So it's an issue for me. And so I have a tendency to get caught in the rain without an umbrella all the time. So carrying my hair dryer to work with me today was it's like, oh, this works.
Perfect.
This works. This is a workaround. Joyce says, yum, I'm going to try the walnuts and bananas. Good.
Mhm.
Suzanne joins us and says, hi, pretty humans.
Hello, pretty human. Back to you.
When it's not the weather, when it's figuratively, what are some things that we can institute into our life to help us feel better? And I'm not talking about clinical depression. I'm talking about you're just not right. You just don't feel like you're on your horse. You just feel down.
Well, I have a fantastic playlist on my phone that has Come and Get Your Love, and it has, gosh, Baby Got Back, and it's got, I mean, it's all the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And they're just fun songs. Walk Like an Egyptian is on there. And they're songs that take me back to a time that was not necessarily carefree, but it was fun in life. When I was in my early 20s, we had a great group of I had a great group of girlfriends here in Nashville, and we connected with a great group of military folks at Fort Campbell. And so we ended up all going to the same clubs in Nashville, but it turned out that we ended up with about 40 guys and gals at Fort Campbell that were all part of one particular unit.
Wow.
And so we would get together and hang out on the weekends, and there was always a caravan going one place or the other. And I'm still today friends with a great number of them. And we would get together, and those songs were the songs that we would go to Mardi Gras here in Nashville and dance the night away, or you would hear them, would have gatherings and you would hear them on the radio. And so I have a lot of those on my playlist on my phone. So if I'm ever in a place where I'm like, oh gosh, I'm just I'm a little off kilter, I can put that on, and I am immediately transported back. And I can sing, and I find myself dancing, and the next thing I know, I'm regulated, and that can be whatever your preference of music is, but music is very healing.
Gina is jumping in on that. Gina says, I listen to music when I'm down or upset.
Yeah.
Joy says, I put on a dance song and dance here in front of my desk. I
There
love this. I love it. Music can change my mood on a dime. I can find joy or allow myself to feel the shit for a bit before turning on the happy music again. It seems like just letting myself feel the muck helps more than trying to fight it. I love it.
Yeah, and it's not about fighting it. It's just about acknowledging it. It's here I am. I'm in this space. Do I want to buy property in this space, or do I want to feel it and then move on through it? And if you want to feel it and move on through it, then we find things that we can do that will help be the catalyst for that forward momentum.
I give myself a chance to go to Dry Bar Comedy on YouTube. It's usually clean. Well, it is clean. That's one of the things for Dry Bar Comedy. It's clean comedy, but it's just funny people. And I'll listen to it for about 15 minutes. And it's amazing what listening to comedians for about 15 minutes, it helps lift everything up. And you go, oh, funny in, funny out. If it's a day that you have off and you have time for a whole funny movie, do that. You can find those things that are your triggers. And I always say, doctor said, you go to the doctor, it hurts when I do this. Well, then don't do this.
Right. Right. And sometimes, here's the thing. Sometimes you can be looking to shift into a different mood, and it doesn't necessarily have to be comedy. Sometimes it can be a different mind. Like a couple of weekends ago, I was just kind of like, I don't really want to watch anything on Netflix. I'm not a big news gal, so I don't really know. And I just went old school. I Googled Aaron Brockovich and I watched that it was on Netflix or Hulu or something. I watched that. And then right behind that, I watched Serendipity, two completely different kind of movies, but I love both of them because of what they stand for. And
Yeah,
so I felt good. It was like, oh, this is nice.
it
And
really is. It really is that thing that you go, uh, and sometimes I can just go and sit outside barefooted, put my feet on the ground barefooted, and or stand barefoot in the grass and just listen to nature,
mhm.
shut everything else down and just be part of it. And, with the goats or the pig or the horses or whatever. And I just listen and let that be and listen to the chickens, because they'll come around and, they have their funny little sounds that they make and they're all around you. And then the little baby chicks are starting to come into the world and come into their own. And it's really nice to pay attention to the stuff that is real and tangible that you can see and touch.
Mhm.
Not everything on a screen. So I encourage you to, if you haven't stuck your feet in a creek in a while, or bounced in a puddle, or felt grass between your toes, those are the little things that we don't realize that sometimes can do more than any prescription, anything that you do. It's like Joyce says, yes, getting close to nature. Yes,
Mhm.
Joyce. And by the way, her music is Elvis, a little less conversation. So
There you go.
ain't nobody don't like some Elvis. Corinne says, this past winter did a job on me, still bothers me. I get that because in Buffalo, it was a bad winter. It was a bad winter, and people are still coming out of that. Yeah. It did have a lot of stuff. And this winter was bad for us too. We had a lot of frozen pipes. I'm still not quite cured at my house either from all my stuff. I'm here, we're all here, but life happens. There's a scripture that says it rains on the just and the unjust. You know, all fields don't need rain, but they all get it. you know,
Well, I mean, talk about radical acceptance. Rain is a part of our climate. I
hmm
mean, I mean, yes, we can be in places where it affects us mood wise, but also sometimes, and there's a large number of the population that just really is kind of looking for something to complain about. And
Corinne, I got to stop there. Well,
okay.
hell, it was a bit much. You're talking about our winter.
Yes,
You're
yes, it
right.
was it was a tinge over the top, but
hmm
and if you guys don't know what happened in Buffalo this winter,
mm
Google it because it was a lot. So,
mm.
um, but like a lot of times people do just sort of get in this um ho hum, I'm just kind of I'm already not happy. If it's sunning outside, it's too hot. If it's raining, it's too wet. Those kind of folks, if you can steer clear of them, steer clear
Right,
of them because
right.
they're not going to put you in a happy place. If anything, you're going to be emotionally and mentally drained from them. So, know the company you keep.
And Candy says, hello, ladies. I'm late today. We have missed you. We
We
have
have
missed
missed
you.
you.
Suzanne says, occupy my mind with things that make me proud, shucking corn and putting up squash, salsa with these homegrown tomatoes on this rainy day. Oh, I love that. I
There you
love this.
go.
Paul says, this kind of reminds me of how I know you, Devon. I would often listen to WSM at the time for music and the friendly, knowledgeable disc jockeys that made you feel like family. And that is how I found you. And now we're actual friends. Sometimes media can be a good salve when the hosts are real. Aw, Paul, thank you. Well, it can't get more real than what we are. We pull in here on one wheel sometimes.
I know. It's like, what are we talking about today? Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Uh,
Let's pull the trigger and go for it.
yeah. Corinne says 4 feet of snow and no power on Christmas Day, but it did melt. Praise God. It did
It
melt.
did.
And that's the thing. It did melt and it will stop raining. Um, and some bad things happen. Life happens.
Well,
Life
and
does happen.
life does happen. And, there's contrast there, because just as you were just saying that, I thought to myself, right now today, there's a lot of people in the Middle Tennessee area that are complaining about the rain that just doesn't feel like it's going to stop anytime soon. But then our folks to the north, our neighbors to the north in Canada, they could sure use some of this. So there's always contrast there, where, they've
Right.
had millions of acres of wildfires that are just burning.
Mm.
And, so there's, not to say it can always be worse, because I don't believe in living in that mindset, but just to be mindful that,
Hmm.
it wasn't a week or two ago, our friends in New York, and I think it was Vermont, maybe, had these torrential downpours that wiped out bridges and all kinds of stuff. So, we're having a little rain here with some puddles on the road. I mean, let's put things into perspective.
Right.
This is not, is it a little inconvenience if our hair frays up a little bit? Or, I mean, I'm wearing sandals today, and I could
Mhm.
sit here and complain all day long. My feet are wet. Well, who the hell put these sandals on my feet? Me. So I either complain about it or switch your shoes. So, um, but I happen to like being outside when it's raining. So I don't really care if my sandals get wet or not, because they dry. But, I mean, there's always a contrast there
Mhm.
somewhere. And I say a neighbor of ours, somewhere to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west,
Mhm.
somewhere in this world, that would love some rain right now, you
Well, I
know.
just think about all the plants are just enjoying the heck out of today. This is a
Mm-hmm.
really good day for them, and I'm so happy for them and all God's little creatures who are going, just give me a drink. Just give me a
Mm-hmm.
drink. And it supplies that. Candy says, I'm a sunshine person, but I'm always thankful for the rainy days because they help our crops and plants to grow. Mhm. And Corinne says, I learned some valuable lessons from this past winter. I think
Mm-hmm.
we all learn if we let the blue days of our life become learning possibilities or joy possibilities. I love this perspective. Elizabeth says, I love the smell of the ground after it's rained. Dirt smells clean to me. Yes, I know I'm odd. No, you're not odd. It does. The earth smells clean and rejuvenated, and the
Mm-hmm.
rain gives everything kind of a fresh new look.
It does.
Well, that's our show kind of coming to an end.
What? We are actually wrapping a few minutes early.
No, it would no, it just takes us a while. So I just said,
Okay.
go
I
ahead.
was like, hang on a minute now.
No, we start rapping. If we start rapping at 30, then we're there here till 45. So
That's true. That's true.
Candy says, if you're a little too blue, turn all your lights on and put some music on and dance. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
indeed. And Candy Armstrong says, with you there, Elizabeth. I love the post rain smell too. And Joy says, my Toby hates storms. He's been really close to his mom the last couple of days. That's right. Our pets, Mike was all up in he was just like, that's my pit bull. He was just like all up next to me last night. I couldn't move where he didn't rearrange so he could get closer. And he's a leaner.
Mm,
He's a leaner. So he was all up in it, which I thought was the best part of the storm.
right. Just some little connection.
I know. It's like, I love this. I love this so much. Well, you guys, I'm so glad that you join us each and every week. And this is just our little conversation, and it's our time to just y'all make this whole thing work because you're so interactive with each other. It's just awesome. So you need to drop me a note for future shows, devonoday@gmail.com.
That's right. And you can find me at terrypugh.com. And if you are watching us live, and like Devon said, if you want to know, if you want us to unpack something, please don't be a stranger. Put it in the comments or send us one a message. Um, and if you are watching us on replay, hashtag it as a replay. What do you have going on the rest of the day, Devon?
Well, I'm going to go and I have to take some stuff to the dump because I live out in the country and it's time for me to take some stuff to the dump. I got a lot of recyclables, and tonight 5:30, I've got to be at the local because CJ Field is having a showcase and I'm going to be introducing him. So
Fun. What are you doing on the 29th?
I'm going to be inducted into the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame.
Yay.
And
I'm still on
Terry
cloud
going,
nine for you.
thank you. And Terry gonna be there. Terry gonna be there.
I am going to be there. I'm so thrilled for you.
Well, thank
So,
you.
yeah, we
Thank
gotta
you.
plug that because it's worthy of plugging.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just so proud to be here. Thank you. People are saying congratulations, and I
Yes,
appreciate y'all.
rightfully so.
Thank y'all so much. And Elizabeth, we'll see her there that night. She's coming too, and it's just it's amazing to be part of something like that. And thank you, Candy. Um, thanks for all the congratulations, y'all are peaches.
It's a well deserved. It's a well deserved step for you because you've been
Thank you.
doing this a long time, sister.
I said I've
It
given up a whole lot of Christmases and a whole lot of Thanksgivings, and I've driven in when everybody else was getting to have a snow day to give the snow report. But I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to have been able to do something that I love.
Well, I will say this, Devon, having not known you that long, I don't know you as long as you've been in the business, but I do know this. I do know that having been around you just as a friend and
Mhm.
professionally and seeing, being, coming to WSM and doing interviews with you guys there several times, I know that the interaction between your folks professionally and I see the people that you touch personally, and I know that it's not all because you have been a radio personality. It's because
Thank you.
your spirit exudes kindness and your spirit exudes gentleness and your voice is calming. And so you
Oh,
have that
thank you.
effect on people. And
Thank you.
it's just it's about damn time you get in that Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying. I mean, just
Well, I
saying.
have a lot of people to thank for that because I said I'm sliding in there on some really great foundation. But thank you, and everybody's still being so nice. Terry's nailed it. That's so. Thank you, and Candy, thank you, and Elizabeth, I appreciate you. And Corinne says, "Say that, Terry."
Right? Preach.
Well, y'all are the best, and I just am so glad y'all show up here every week at Wednesday because this is our little group, and this is our group, and who knows what's going to happen in the coming year because we really are looking at some possibilities of some retreats and some stuff like that we can go do and just enjoy.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
Check out and plug in.
all right, well,
Yeah.
as we say goodbye, we always take it home with now. Can we get these increase the peace t-shirts yet?
We can get the increased tippy t-shirts. Can I even say it right? The increased tippy. We can get those shirts. I'll be quite honest. I just completely dropped the ball on it. Um, Dana Jones, a dear friend of mine in South Dakota, helped
Mhm.
me create the designs. And I need to touch base with her to find out if she can actually do the printing or if she can,
Mhm.
if I can find someone to do the printing. I'm not that
Mhm.
techie person. So,
Well, if you can put
um,
it on one of those one-off things like Cafe Press or something, I know that we all have different kinds of shirts that fit our different kinds of bodies, and we might just order them straight from there because if you have it, because that's a really cool design. I'm just saying,
yeah,
y'all.
I think you turned me on to Zazzle, right?
Yeah.
Too.
Mhm.
I think there's that. My brain just does not. I don't prioritize figuring all that stuff out. So
Mhm.
I'll touch base with her and see what she says, and we'll just go from there. And I'll let y'all know because I like the design too. I think it's an amazing design. She actually designed 7 of them for me, and I narrowed it down to like 3. So.
Well, I think you could introduce them every week, and we'd all like go. We have our increase the peace shirts,
There you go. Maybe I will
and
do Cafe Press because then I don't have to deal with shipping or anything, and people
yeah,
can get them on journals and totes and books and mugs or whatever you want them on.
and Candy says, "Can we get them on baseball caps too?" Yes. See,
Of
that's the deal.
course,
You can do
that's the
that,
deal.
and then you can bedazzle your Zazzle piece.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
All
y'all
right.
have a great one.
Absolutely. And as always, we appreciate you showing up and choosing to spend your time and your energy with us. We love you all. And until we see you next Wednesday, Have a great, fantastic rest of the day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Create time for yourself and increase the peace.